The award for Best Comedy goes to Out of Order by Guy Jacobson.
Hi, Guy Jacobson. This is Veena speaking, and congratulations for winning the Best Comedy Official Selection in our 11th annual ICP Entertainment Film Festival. Um, you
Thank
know,
you for having us, and thank you for the honor, Veena.
and please, can you tell me about yourself first, and then we'll go to the film.
Sure. So I was born and raised to a poor black family in China. And then, no, that's not me. No. So I actually used to be a lawyer, having a Jewish mother. So my mother just passed away this weekend.
Uh-huh.
Um, and you know how so I will dedicate that screening to her. And you know how Jewish mother always wanted to have her son to be either a lawyer, a doctor, or an engineer, just like an Indian mother. And my mother never wanted me to be a doctor, a lawyer, or an engineer. She wanted me to be a doctor, a lawyer, and an engineer. She was like, "What is this all thing?" So um, I actually was a lawyer for a while, which also explained why the film is
Yes.
hopefully well researched because I know what I'm talking about. And then at some point I said, I really enjoyed my life as a lawyer, but time to go back to the arts.
Mhm.
And so, I left Wall Street and I went back and started my film company.
Mhm.
And 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 other than that, you have to ask me more specifics because I
Both were the questions.
got to speak
Okay,
about
and
myself.
you're the writer of Out of Order.
I am.
So how did the story or how did the idea come in? What was your inspiration?
So funny enough, as I told you, I was in law school and I was a post
Mhm.
student. And in when I was in the summer, law students work in law firms as summer associates to make a little bit of money.
Mhm.
And so in that summer in law school, I actually worked at two law firms, not at the same time. Half of the
Mhm.
summer at one law firm and half of the summer at the other law firm. And I then had, and I really needed the money because I was a poor student. And I said to myself at the time, I said, if I worked at two law firms both the entire summer, nobody will know because I could come early to one and go late to the other. And there's so little work that they wanted us to do. It was all about whining and dining us and then convincing us to become slaves later on. So and I was like, nobody would know if I would work at both law firms at the same time. So that's where the idea originally came from. I literally had that thought at that time.
Mhm.
And
Okay.
then I said, I put it aside and I said, one day when I hopefully go back to writing movie scripts and books, I will write that script. And then when I left Wall Street, I said, it probably will be funnier if I write it as a litigator and not as a corporate lawyer, and
Wow.
put it in a courtroom when I can create a lot of chaos.
Mhm.
Uh, and that's where the idea came from.
Oh, nice. And like I saw the film and especially with the casting, you got Brooke Shields, you have Brandon uh Contour, and you have Louis Guzman. So
Yeah.
how did you pick the casting and how did everything come to the final product that's the Out of Order?
So I think that the most important thing, and that's what the actors will tell you,
Mm-hmm.
if I needed to put the lead because the lead, Brandon Routh, will determine the
Mm-hmm.
age and right. So you can have Brandon Routh being, let's say, 40, and his best
Mm-hmm.
from high school is 25, right? So you need to have somebody that or 60. So you needed to have the pieces, of the puzzle, one piece by the other.
Uh,
And we had an amazing casting director, Kate Geller, and
mm-hmm.
that and we so we started putting piece by piece together, and I told Kate that regardless of how ridiculous some of those
Mm,
ideas might be to put in the cast, I
mm,
told her, Your job is not to even to cast them. Get
mm,
them to speak with me. All I want from you to is get them on the phone with me so I can
mm,
tell them what is my vision about the
mm,
film. After they read the script, they can speak with me about the film and how I would like to work with actors. And then if they say no, they're not interested, they're not interested. And we were very, very fortunate. We think we had a really good script.
mm,
And when the actors heard that my vision of doing it is not my film, but it's our film, and that I going to allow them to shine, and I would like them to
mm,
lend me their genius and creativity to make our films better.
mm,
And I think that they all will saying, you know what, I like that idea. I like the fact that I have a
mm,
say in the film, and
mm.
and that's how we managed to put together this crazily, cast that is insane for a tiny film.
I have to say one thing. I've seen the movie and I really loved the cinematography. I felt like the cinematographer gave the city a character. Like in between, you see the frames of the building, you see the subway, it's just so beautiful. As though the city is involved in such a way that it's adding to the film. I mean, if anybody watches it, they would say what I'm saying.
No,
But
so I want. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
no, 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 that's okay. Yeah, go
So,
ahead.
so first, I wanted to give a shout out to my DP.
Mm, mm,
I found them literally the perfect partner, and I
mm,
can't even imagine doing this film with another director of photography.
mm.
Matt is a brilliant DP, so it was so much fun working with him. But my vision was always that New York is a character in the film.
Okay,
It really is a
okay.
character. I
This
told
guy.
people that
Okay.
it's New York is such an incredible city. It's my home. I love New
Mm,
York,
mm,
and I think that New York adds so much both visually, but
mm.
also the sound and the feel of the city and
City.
the
Yeah.
diversity of the city. So for us, it was always making sure that New York come across as a character.
Okay, so yeah, it he did a great job, I should
I,
say. It does, it does. He took your idea and it really came out in the feature film. So,
yeah, thank you.
um, let's go to know what was the biggest challenge? Was it, and how many years did it take to do the film? So,
I think that that's probably true in all low
mm,
budget independent films, right?
mm,
Um, is you never have enough money to make the film the way you want to make it because you don't have enough
mm,
shooting days, you don't have, whatever it is that you want, you don't have enough. So
yeah.
that's probably the biggest challenge. And we were shooting it during COVID, so made things even more complicated.
Mm,
Um, but so I'd say that's probably this combination was difficult. But
mm.
and then when you say how long it takes to make the film, remember I told you the idea for the film I had 35 years ago when
Wow.
I was in law school, right?
Mm.
So I don't know, is that when do you consider that I started working on the film?
Okay, him.
Right. And then so I think that many people many times when people ask how long it took to make the film, they think about principal photography, which was, 4 or 5 weeks. It wasn't that long, but 5 weeks, I believe. But then you finish filming and then you start the editing, and editing and the post-production take much longer than the shooting, and the
Yeah.
pre-production and the casting and the development take much longer than the shooting itself. So I would say we worked on it for years,
Mm,
and and every time we got ready to shoot, like where the film casted and something happened and we had to stop. And so, we are so happy that now it's done and it's ready to go and we're ready to share it.
That's great. That's really great. I mean, it's very challenging, I should say. I've been on film shoots. I've done small stuff, but I know that it's very challenging when you start a project.
Oh, very.
Then funding. Did you self-fund the film? Did you do crowdfunding? Did you have investors? How did it go?
So we had an amazing group of investors that invested in the film, and all of them are still very, very involved. Literally, some of our investors flew in from literally from all over the world, as did the cast and crew. People literally came from all over the world for the premiere. So I was very, very fortunate because our investors are an amazing group of people. They love the project, they love the film, they
Hmm.
continue to support it. So I was blessed in that respect.
That's good to know. That's so glad to know. Then I have to, because the media that we have is called the Rhyme Impersonator Show. So I would have to ask you, because it's a comedy film, do you have a joke, impersonation, or an embarrassing moment that you can share?
My entire life is embarrassing moments. So so I don't know if that counts. My life is a joke. But so no, it's. So unfortunately, as I said, many embarrassing moments, and I think that jokes wise, I think that I will. So I told you about my mother wanting me to be a doctor, a lawyer, and an engineer. So that's one. But I'll tell you. So there's something that happened to me recently. I was
Okay.
actually walking in the park in
Mm-hmm.
Central Park. And then after a bit, I was sitting in a bench and next to two Jewish women. I was eardropping about the conversation. And the first one was asking the others, like, do you have any kids? And
Mm-hmm.
she was saying, the second one's like, oh, yes, yes, I have three kids. Say, oh, that's wonderful. And what do they do? And she said, well, one is a lawyer, one is a doctor, and one is an engineer. And the first one said, wow, that's so impressive. I'm like, and how old are they? And the second one said, well, the doctor is three, the lawyer is six, and the engineer is eight. So that's
Okay.
where I had to come from.
Okay, got it. Got
Expectations.
it.
Yeah.
Okay, where can people reach you and where can they watch the movie?
So hopefully everybody come to watch the movie at the ICP Film Festival on October 25. And then we are now working on the lineup of festivals and the lineup of, the right distributor that can take the film out. And I think it will and we know that it plays really, really well in theaters. So we hope that to get, some theatrical release. And we also know, because the Chelsea Film Festival is a lot of people were there from literally all over the world. So we had people from
Mhm.
different countries, different religion belief, different political systems and belief, and old and young and male and female, and you know,
Mhm.
and everybody was having such a good time with the movie and laughing and enjoying themselves. So we know it plays well to very broad variety of audiences.
Mhm.
And then the other thing that we just heard is so far, in that the ICP will be the sixth, I meaning not the sixth festival we're showing the film because some of them have not shown the film yet, but we know the jury awards.
Okay.
So the sixth festival that announced the awards, we
Okay.
got an award in every single one. So we won so far every festival, which is crazy.
Oh,
I mean,
cool. Congratulations. That means, audience, I mean, the jurors liked it. That's the matter they selected.
yeah.
And then that's the matter you play in the theaters. And once you fill up and you show the distributors that, everybody is liking it, you get the distributorship anyways. So.
We sure hope so. We sure hope so.
And finally, I just wanted to let you know that all of, you can let your friends, family, and network know that they can purchase the tickets at icpentertainment.org/event-list.
Okay.
And if they want, they can always contact us on Facebook or on Instagram. We are there everywhere. So
We will
apart from
promote
that, I
it.
will hope I will see you. Are you going to be here or are you?
Unfortunately, I'm not. I
Uh,
was organized many, many months ago, my honeymoon, and I'm going to be on the
uh,
Faroe Islands. So I cannot make it, but I promise you that there will be a nice representation from our team.
thank you, guys. Thank you so much for your time.
We look forward to seeing you all on the red carpet of the hottest event of the year, the 11th annual ICP Entertainment Film Festival.